as we enter into Women's History Month, we look into a new book by a popular Catholic podcast host who writes the Catholic Church is pro-life because she is pro-woman. Claire Swinarski is the creator and host of the Catholic Feminist Podcast. The wife and mother is also the author of a new book, Girl Arise. In her book, Swinarski tackles the pro-life issue, writing, "There's one huge issue that divides secular and Catholic feminists. We can, for the most part, get on the same page about so much. But pro-life issues seemingly will forever be that hefty orange caution tape that divides us. To me, this isn't just an issue that causes finger-pointing and hurt feelings. It's more than that. This is where the church opens wide her arms, steps it up, and shouts, 'We're pro-women,' in her loudest voice." Joining us now is Claire Swinarski, the host of the Catholic Feminist Podcast and author of the new book, Girl Arise, a Catholic Feminist's Invitation to Live Boldly, Love Your Faith, and Change the World. Claire, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so grateful we can have this conversation. And first off, the word feminism has a lot of buzz surrounding it and probably some misconceptions. So first off, can you just establish what do you mean by feminism, Claire?
Absolutely. That's a great question to start with because, as you know, a lot of people have really different definitions of that word. And I think it's so important to start by making sure we're on the same page. So we define feminism as the equality of the dignity of men and women, that men and women were made with equal worth and dignity and bring the same amount of value to the table.
Excellent. And Claire, you always begin your podcast with this question, so I'm going to turn the table and ask you, what does your life as a Catholic feminist look like?
So I live in Wisconsin with my husband and my 2 kids. I spend a lot of my day handing out fruit snacks and potty training and doing not very glamorous things. But I'm also a children's book writer and a podcaster, so I have the good fortune of writing books that I love to write, and I get to interview women for the Catholic Feminists.
That's beautiful. And speaking of your new book, you dedicate an entire chapter in your new book, Girl Arise, to the pro-life issue. Can you explain, Claire, why you say being pro-life means being pro-woman?
Absolutely. We had Abby Johnson on the podcast once, and she really rocked my world the way she explained it, talking about how so often at Planned Parenthood, at these abortion facilities, when women come in, you know, we say pro-choice, but they really feel like they don't have a choice. They feel like this is their only option. And when you look at studies from the Guttmacher Institute, which is a pro-choice think tank, talking about why women get abortions, it's so often because they felt there was no other option. They felt like it was going to affect their work. It was going to affect their finances. They weren't in a great relationship. And so women come when they feel like they have no other choices. And so what we in the pro-life feminist movement like to do is empower those women that, yes, this maybe isn't what you had planned. This isn't what you thought your life was going to have in store, but you can do it. You are capable. You are strong. And not only do we want to say those nice words, but we actually want to help you in really concrete ways. So we talk a lot on the show and in the book about how to support women when they're in that stage of life, how to look into your local pregnancy center and see what they need, and how to fight for policies that will help moms in the workforce and help moms finish school and go to work, help foster a culture of relationships and marriage so that women don't feel alone. That's such an empowering message versus what I hear from pro-choice feminists, which is, yeah, you can't do it. You are too weak to do it. You probably can't handle it. To me, that's not empowering at all, but just complete disenfranchisement.
In your experience, have you found that the pro-life feminist label is isolating? How do you make the case to people who might reject either one of those terms?
I think I definitely used to, and that was part of why I started the podcast, is because I knew that there were other women out there who felt like that, but sometimes the angriest voices seem the loudest, and they get the most attention, and the people saying the most out there things are the ones that everyone wants to pay attention to. But there are so many women who are pro-life because they care about other women. You know, we're not pro-life because like we want to make your life really hard. We're not pro-life because we want to take away your power. No, we're pro-life because we love you, because we see you as made in the image of God. And so it used to feel isolating, but after I was able to start the podcast and meet so many other women who felt the same way, our team is strong. Man, there are so many pro-life feminists out there, and I feel like I just have a whole crowd of women walking alongside me.
And on the flip side, by using the term feminist, do you see opportunities open up and doors open up for dialogue with people who otherwise might disagree with you or brush you aside? I mean, I imagine the feminist label does catch people's attention.
Absolutely. There's so many things that pro-life feminists and pro-choice feminists agree upon. So maybe we could start there. You know, we both want mothers to be cared for in the workplace. We both want women who are experiencing homelessness to find solutions. You know, we have so much that we agree on. If we can get past this one huge barrier and start looking at other ways we can connect, I think that that's the most worthwhile way to spend our time. And also, if we push away every pro-choice person and just put them in a box and say, you're a terrible human and I want nothing to do with you, what do you think their impression of pro-life people is going to be? You know, how are we ever going to then work and try to change their heart and mind on that huge issue? So if we push people away, that's really just counterproductive to building up God's kingdom.
Claire Swinarski, host of the Catholic Feminist Podcast and author of the new book, Girl Arise. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.